The Out There channel, Robert and Paul.
Please sub and share.
Searching for the truth. UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yo. Anybody out there? Don't look like it. Yeah, this should be a good one. Let me just paste up some descriptions. Side chat. So we're talking about lies and deception against NASA again, where things are taken out of context and things are twisted. I'm talking to my people on the live show. It's about time you learnt, Mum. A headset on, it should be a giveaway. So if you want to donate, here's a link to also join our UFO group on Discord. It's the first UFO channel to use Discord. Everybody copied me. I remember alien scientists assisted even using it at one stage. It's funny how things go, isn't it? He got all confused with it. I think he was trying to create a server rather than just join groups at the time. It's just a matter of learning it. So we've got enough things to learn. So okay, my interruption in the room has gone. Looks like it's working out good. So let's kick it off. Might wait for people. They probably won't come. It's late in the day. I had to have a sleep in. I was exhausted. I've been only sleeping about 5 hours a day for the last week, so I had to have some catch up. Still only got 5 hours today, but then I added another 2 on, so I'm feeling a bit better. Alright, so I saw this yesterday and just so made me so sad. The cousin of Tyler is knocking out crap about NASA because he's got claims to have relatives that work for NASA. So that makes him a NASA expert. So yeah, he's put out this, what I'd say would be a hit piece on NASA, and using the tagline, I'm not sure who made it up, never a straight answer. This is unbelievable. And I will go through that and debunk it. Looks like he did the helicopter one too, but not with the bucket, but with the one that's been debunked already. So maybe we'll go through some of them if we get time. I was going to do third face, but we've still got more days in the week for that. So, yeah, hang on, let me just run a script, which I forgot. I may speed up some things. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's just go through it and let's break it down. Break it down.
Alright, Nocturnal
I might need to adjust the volume.
News. So look guys, I put together a video for you guys today. Basically the lies and the deception from NASA. Okay, now I was going to play the video just as we're going to see it today, but then I decided, you know what, it might be a little better if I talk over it and kind of give you my overall opinion. We got CGI, you know, different astronauts talking about how you can and you can't see stars, green screen, you know, what do we call it, slip-ups, all kinds of good stuff in here. So look, we're just going to get right into it. Okay, now, first, let me hit pause. You're going to see this dude go over there and try to undo a screw from the wall, right? And it falls down. I remember, this is the ISS they're on.
Okay, so straight away, it looks kind of like a... Is it one of those shower cabinets they have on the space station? Where they got pressure water that sort of shoots up, down, and then it gets sucked into the vents. So yes, no gravity in space. Well, it depends how close you are to Earth, of course. There would be some gravity there, but not enough for a screw to fall down. But I think if he's making this claim here, I think what it is like a screw that's got some pressure behind it, and of course if it gets too loose and then shoots out and really lessen the pressure behind it. Whether it's air pressure, because I know they do use sort of suction things there to make sure water doesn't escape too far. But water forms globules. It's not like water on Earth with gravity. It forms these little globules and they just float around in zero G, which we've seen on various other videos. And they've got a positive aircon flow, which was always sucking the air upwards into these vents, so it never gets into the electronics. So that includes droplets of water when they have a shower. But anyway, this guy's gonna claim this is proof that they're not in space.
Zero gravity, nothing, you know, nothing should be falling in the ISS. So let's continue.
Side check.
Uh-oh, what happened? You guys like that music? That's
I can't see what he's pressing there. What's he trying to press?
A Nocturnal News added.
So as you know, if you've got some force behind an object in zero G, like a rocket, it's going to keep on going towards the direction. So if it hit the ground, it probably would have bounced upwards. So yeah, it's probably, he's looking on the ground, it's probably already bounced off behind him.
Touch right there.
Yeah, so that's just misleading.
What is happening?
If you show this
Yeah, so now he's taking things out of context that are not even related to the same video to explain what actually was happening there.
you're open for a lawsuit.
Oh, okay. Now watch this, guys. This is why.
So there was some conspiracy theories hassling him and saying things about him that he wasn't quite happy about. Whether he didn't go to the moon, which would probably upset him. So he's going. Obviously, he's saying he's going to sue him if they publish anything about him, claiming that he said he didn't go to the moon. Blah blah blah.
calling the kettle black. If ever
Hang on.
You misrepresented away from me. You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Oh!
And a
Look, this is...
Now, this guy was hassling all day long, apparently. There was another video that shows the full breakdown of the day before he lashes out at this guy. Finally snaps because the guy keeps hassling. He was trying to get him to swear on the Bible and stuff like that.
This is why you don't mess with these old cats right here. These cats, look, they got money, tempers, they don't give a damn. All you young bucks out there, this is why you leave these old cats alone right here.
Yeah, leave us alone, you young bucks. Yeah, so not sure if I better find that video now, where it explains the whole situation better and not taken out of context.
Oh my goodness.
Here he is again, this guy.
You want me to knock you in the head?
no, I want you to swear to God on the Bible that you walk.
So he was hassling not just Buzz, but most of the NASA stuff and astronauts.
If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you.
You about to get the hell knocked out of you, boy. Look, I'm telling you, these old cats, they don't play around.
Put the end to the record in the argument.
So you could say, I want to just say, okay, no big deal, just put the hand on and swear. I guess you could look at it their way, is that they're being accused of lying, and they have nothing to prove, and they don't want to do it, because they've got other things to do than to muck around with some conspiracy guy that's going to put his video up on the network just for clickbait and making money off.
And put your hand on the Bible. Swear to God you walked on the moon.
On the Bible.
Mr. Cybro, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
No.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight. I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the...
No, I like Ed Mitchell. Ooh! Let's run it back.
I suppose I didn't get sued by this guy.
Well, I hate your stuff and get the fuck out.
Oh my God, dropping the F-bomb.
Quote me and say it's bullshit.
I'm in the shadows in Iraq.
Look,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting some swearing on it, but there you go.
look, I didn't know these guys were going to be up here cussing. I thought I muted this crap out.
Cussing.
I don't give a damn
Cussing.
about all that shit.
Of lunar orbit being falsified.
Being falsified?
Correct. We got an unedited tape from a source at the Johnson Space Center.
Totally nonsense.
Oh, here's Michael Collins, Apollo 11. Oh, that is not polite.
It kind of reminds me of Michael Horn, that guy. It looks like him, even.
Sir. That is not polite.
Mr. Cybro, you do not?
So they've probably been hassling all day long with cameras. So he went up to it. So yeah, it's taken out of context, you know. If someone is hassling you all day, you're going to sort of snap at some point.
Reserve answers.
If you show this publicly, you're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
Why has nobody been to the moon in such...
Okay, now this right here blew my mind. There's absolutely zero explanation as to why this man would say this. He says basically because we didn't go, meaning we didn't go to the moon. Now I do think we went to the moon. Just
Okay, this clip is so taken out of context, it ain't funny. So we'll just play his silly clip that's cut. But there's a full interview for it available, including what was quoted, not what was taken out of context.
I mean, for the record, but I do think they also hoaxed a lot of it.
a long time?
Oh,
That's not
yeah,
an 8-year-old's question.
I'm listening.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't
What?
go there, and because we didn't go there, and
Yeah, so the question that she said to him is, why didn't they go back to the moon? and he's saying we didn't go there, and then the rest of the sentence carries on to do with the government spending and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't go there. There's nothing to do with. If you listen to the other questions prior to that one, he's talking about being in space and orbiting the moon, and also practicing going down to the surface and aborting, just to go through the routine checks, and then they finally landed. So he says it in other questions previously anyway. But why didn't we go back? He said he wants to know too. But he thinks he knows why. It's because of the government. So this guy here is making a big deal about it. But I will be popping up some information to back up what I'm saying here.
Okay, this man just said because we didn't, with his word salad, we didn't go there, meaning we didn't go to the moon. Now, how do you backtrack from that? How do you weasel?
By telling the truth of what he actually said, you dirk. This guy here, channel should be shut down for fake news. All it is fake news and bullshit and bad science and not even factual. Says he researches things. So okay, let's break this one down. We'll start with a simple search I did. Okay, the first one that sort of comes up is Snopes, which is not really a respected company anymore due to the crap with Mr. T and lies, fact-checking lies, bias in their fact-checking. Did BUZZ Aldrin admit that he never went to the moon? No, is a simple question answer to that. So, what he did say, false. I'll put the links up as well to you, so you can read the full amount if you want to. So, it was in July 2018. Was it Security that put it out? No, I think he was probably the second to put it out. I think Third Phase of the Moon put this garbage out too. They found this clip online through some UK rag, I think it was, and they started promoting it about without actually doing any research on what the full video was saying. Of course, then it ends up around Twitter as well, the Twitter UFO world, who don't do fact-checking themselves. So you can see it's got a wee bit there. So, child, why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time? So the key part of the question there is, in a long time. And he says he wants to know too. Which is good question, really. We want to know as well. That's my question. I want to know. But I think I know. Because we didn't go there. That's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past. So I think he could have worded that a lot better. But he was old, he's getting old and dottery, wasn't he, back then? Dementia, probably. The wording of Aldrin's answer may have been confusion to children. Yeah, it was all over the place. Adults as well. Yep. He was talking about why something going to the moon stopped in the past. Not about it never happened at all. And there's a full interview down here. Because it's NASA, I guess we can play it, can't we?
Okay, Zoe.
Oh well, I forget copyright claim, too bad.
Favorite.
What is your favorite thing about space?
Going there.
So, straight away, clear answer. What's the favourite thing? Going to space.
Going there. Because not many people have been there. It's nice to do something that other people haven't done. But you don't want to do dangerous things. You want to do successful things. And if it's new and different.
Okay, I suppose there he's saying that spaceflight was really dangerous. So not everybody can do it. But you want to do successful things. So you got to make sure that you keep testing out things before you risk going into space, is probably what he's saying there.
Different, there may be some things where something could go wrong, so you want to be prepared. This is a truism, and you need to remember. Prior, that's before, prior planning.
So it's a wee bit complicated answer for kids.
Plan.
Scared.
Were you a little scared about going to the moon or coming home again?
I'm scared because nobody had been there.
Because nobody has been there before?
Well, people had gone up and down without staying in orbit. People, dogs and monkeys, people, Russian Yuri Gagarin. Then we'd done a lot of things, but we hadn't really sent people to the moon. So we did send people, and they went around the moon. Then we sent people, another crew, to go around the moon and then practice everything but landing. And then a very fortunate person with many things going right in my life gave Neil Armstrong, Mike Collins, and BUZZ Aldrin the opportunity to make an attempt to make the first landing.
Well, there you go. And then he says they did.
All of us want to succeed, and we did.
There you go.
And that's why I'm here. That's one of the reasons I'm
still
here.
Alive.
Because I had the curiosity to want to tell people what it was like. And so I've written several books with someone else about.
Alright, so let's just keep on going.
Zoe, fast.
Did it feel like the rocket was fast when it took off?
It was very surprising that it was so gentle leaving. And it was a very smooth, slow rocket going up. And once we were in space, then we were floating around. But in getting there, the rocket goes faster and faster, and we're sort of pushed back in the couch. But the rocket sometimes doesn't work, and that's a very dangerous part. So when that part is behind.
Okay, now he's sort of sidetracked into the question.
There is a.
What was the next question? I suppose that other question will be here somewhere.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
There we go, this is the place. Why has no one been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going. Money is a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of keep doing the same thing over, then it's going to cost more money. And other things need more money too. So having achieved what the president wanted us to do, and then what thousands, millions of people in America and millions of people around the world.
So basically, she said, why haven't we been back to the moon? Not that have we been to the moon, and he says, I want to know why. So that Nocturnal News guy is just totally out of hand promoting that crap, even until 4 years after this had been debunked already. It's disgusting, really. Really, he's saying it's all about money and politics and governments, and because it was a government program. Now it's all private, and billionaires are running it. So going back to the moon may be a possibility still within our lifetime before we die. So next 20 years, who knows what's going to happen within that time frame. We might even have fusion power by then. So yeah, basically everything you said there just confirms that they did go to the moon. And the fact that we know that they left a load of trash on the moon, that the Chinese have photographed a new high definition image and from the orbiters they got over there. And you can actually see the tracks of the rover, and you can match it up with the videos they took. So yeah, if they faked it, it's pretty elaborate fake. So yeah, it's just absolutely nonsense. Nocturnal News pushing this one here. So yeah, you got to be careful of things taken out of context.
Pull your way out of that comment. You know, if anyone out there would like to tell me, please let me know, because he literally said because we didn't. And then again, he goes on to this word salad that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like, I don't know if he's on something.
Yeah, so, okay, so he's getting old. So, yeah, we'll just play that back again. You've heard the full question and answer there now. And we can see he cut out the question. Why is it not going back? I think he cut out the question. Let's go back and watch again.
You're open for a lawsuit. Okay?
Why has nobody been to the moon in such
Okay, now this right here blew my mind.
Okay, he just cut it off when she was going to finish off the question. Such a long time.
There's absolutely zero explanation as to why this man would say this. He says basically because we didn't go, meaning we didn't go to the moon. Now, I do think we went to the moon, just, I mean, for the record, but I do think they also...
He meant to say we didn't go back because he thinks he knows why, because of money. He just already said that the guy was a word salad, so he was sort of tripping over his words there.
So hoaxed a lot of it.
a long time?
Oh,
that's not
yeah,
an 8-year-old's question.
I'm listening.
That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and because we didn't go there, and
okay, cut it again.
Okay, this man
just this recap again on what he actually did say. So this is how deceptive these conspiracy and fake UFO channels are.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
Not the best reply, but you can see what he was trying to say. And of course now things can be cut out of that and used out of context, which is basically what happened. So let's see what the next question was.
That's a good thing. If you want to buy new things, new rockets, instead of part of what we were able to do. And that made us feel very...
What would it be like to have a home on the moon or Mars?
A home where?
On the moon or Mars.
I wouldn't want to have a home. I might want to stay
Hey,
on the moon.
qqqvid, how's it going? No, people thought maybe he was drunk, but it's a possibility, qqqvid. But yeah, but it's just not right for UFO channels and people to keep plugging that false information around what he did say by taking it out of context like that. You know, it's just terrible. Yeah, I understood what you said. But yeah, it just makes me mad, you know. What Nocturnal News was saying about him. Is he dead now, or is he still alive? It's sort of gone quiet on that side of things. I know a few of them died lately. Aldrin, how do you spell his last name? Here he is. Still got a wiki on him. They haven't cancelled cultured him yet. Is he still alive or not? Yeah, it looks like he might be. He's certainly doing pretty well. That's what he used to look like. It's amazing how he changed as you get old, eh? I wouldn't recognise them. It's like my parents. When I look at my parents' photographs, I think, well, 92. So no wonder he stumbles over his words, the poor guy. It's a bit like my dad now. He does the same thing. Gets muddled up and stuff, you know. Anyway, Nocturnal News is a really bad boy for doing this.
Just said because we didn't, with his word salad, we didn't go there, meaning we didn't go to the moon. Now, how do you backtrack from that? How do you weasel your way out of that comment? You know, if anyone out there would like to tell me, please let me know, because he literally said because we didn't. And then again,
so you can see down here the news channel. What was it? Was it CNN? Admits to 8-year-old girl we didn't go to the moon. So that was taken out of context by the news channel. So who was the bad channel that did that? Is it CNN there? I can see. Or was it one of those UK rag news channels? BBC? It's not BBC, is it? Surely UK wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, it's good that he's still kicking around. You never know, he might see a lot more that happens with the private space industry and go back to the moon. In the next, how long could he live to? He could live to 100, I suppose. In 8 years, if Elon Musk manages to get his petrol back, because all his rockets run off kerosene, and at the moment we know with the gas prices and all the petrol is all sky woof. And of course there's corruption in the petrol corporations putting up the prices, right? There's no need to put up the prices. Yeah. So we'll just keep on listening to his last part of the interview here.
For maybe 6 months. But it's fairly easy to come back to Earth from the moon. If something goes wrong, then you'd like to get back into orbit, and from orbit to come back. It's much easier to come back from the moon. So why don't we do the same thing with the space station? We go up there and people stay for 6 months, a year. That's what we'll probably do at the moon. Now somebody comes back and he may help train other people. He may go back and do it again.
Of course, they can't do that straight away, can they? That's what they've been doing experiments on the moon. See how the astronauts, the bones weaken, the muscles weaken, and they can't stand up when they come back. Even in short periods. You know, he's talking about go up there for 6 months to a year. I don't think they're about to walk ever again. So obviously they've got to implement programs and exercise routines, even artificial gravity, which they don't have on the space station, which is probably some experiment you think they'd be doing, or Elon Musk would be building his own space station to do it, because NASA doesn't seem to be doing it, and have one of those rotating wheels on the space station that creates centrifugal force, which emulates gravity. But yeah, I suppose he would expect that all to be done in stages and experiments too, I guess. But it never happened in that long time, which is kind of disappointing, because we're way behind the ballpark now from what I used to read in books about space stations. We should be living up there and growing food and these spinning discs, right? Do I think that they are bases on the moon? I think if there was, the Chinese would have broadcast about by now. Why would the Chinese shut up about it? If they saw American base on there, they'd say, "Oh, you broke all the treaties and you told us lies." You know, the Chinese would go crazy about it, wouldn't they? Same with the Russians. But I believe that they created a duplicate landing pod, and they faked some videos with it in case the thing blew up or whatever, went wrong, that they could quickly switch before it happened. Because there's a delay in between where they can see ahead of time before a disaster happens, and then say the lost transmission, then return it and play back some fake footage they made. So I think there is some fake footage out there, and also some training exercises where they're using the pod underwater and stuff like that, which is where the conspiracy of faking the moon landing come into things, right? But yeah, there's evidence there now. You know, the Chinese have brought back landing spots, pictures of the rover tracks and all that. It's a bit hard to see, but if you zoom in, you know that it sort of matches up with some of the videos, you know, where they went to edge of one of these craters and back again, and the tracks are there, right? So yeah, all these flat earthers and saying that the space station is fake, and they're using zero-G planes to emulate things. It's just ludicrous, right? They say they pick up wires in between. Well, if you ever see any suspended wire system, it's like a puppet, you know. It's not just one single wire behind someone, and if it is, it's a very thick cable, you know. It's a bit like a rope, not a transparent piece of wire that they're going to see on video. So, because you've got to hold up all that weight, right, against gravity. You got the blunt force of the weight, and if they move around, then you got a sort of acceleration as well, if that was in gravity field. Paracord, you know, you've seen the paracord they use on the military thing. They make little bracelets out of it in case they get lost in the desert or whatever jungle, they got these bracelets they can wrap off the string and use that for pulling themselves up and down hillsides. But you can see this, you can see the string. I think that's as thin as you can get it without it snapping. And then even if you use some of the new modern day Kevlar and even some other new ones that have sort of come out, you're still going to want it a wee bit thick to hold your weight, to be sure, right? And you don't always, not always can hide those from camera either. So yeah, I think it's just a load of people not really getting the stuff themselves and having to play around with it, because I've got some Kevlar string, and yes, it's really thin, and you can get it in different colours, but to hide it from a camera you just need the right lighting and the right colour thing, but you can never get rid of it completely. You're eventually going to stuff up and people are going to see it, and it's, like I said, it's going to be more than just one line off that stuff, even if you use Kevlar. But that's just my thinking anyway. Yeah, and plus they used the Capricorn movie to make some fakes up, didn't they? Yeah, Capricorn 1, interesting movie when you think about the lies what NASA would do under circumstances. Exactly, right. I think because of the space race and their reputation online, I think it's quite possible that they did some fake video and probably used people that still haven't sort of come out about it, right? The movie directors. So, I don't know. Why haven't they come forward? Yeah, was there any more questions? I think there was.
But it is not a good place to stay. There's no air. And
okay,
come back in.
So you just confirming more of that answer there, that it's not a good place to stay up there because lack of supplies, especially air. Was there any other good ones? I think we've pretty much been through all the good ones.
Instead of walking to school, what did I want to...
What?
Yeah. And the maid felt what's there before we send people. Yeah?
Not yet.
What did I want to...
What did you want to be when you were 6?
When I was 6?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were 8. You're 6? Oh. Instead of walking to school, I wanted to maybe be able to drive to school. Instead of getting on the bus, we played ball. I wanted to maybe be a sport.
I think astronauts have got a certain character about them, that they're sort of daredevils. So he was thinking that he wants to drive to school. It's pretty crazy idea to think in your head at 6 years old, I think. It means he's ahead of his time. Yeah, it's like Cooper. He was a bit of a daredevil with the sports car as well, wasn't he? And diving, deep sea diving, and always treasure hunting. He put himself at risk all the time. But obviously he was very competent at what he was doing. So yeah, that's the only guy I really believe that did actually see UFOs out of most of, maybe Mitchell maybe as well. But I don't think BUZZ saw any UFOs. Because that was part of the claim too. And actually, there's actually a Reddit post here where BUZZ actually answers. Or answered at one stage 8 years ago. I am BUZZ Aldrin, engineer, American astronaut. And people asking him questions here, and he's replying on Reddit, of all things. And one of the questions about, did he see a UFO? Okay, Okay, we'll get to that one next. Can you see stars? Let's see. Let's just go Google search. Did BUZZ see UFO? Now, he made a statement he saw a UFO, didn't he? Claimed to have seen aliens. Did BUZZ? So, again, that's probably Snopes, is it, at the top? Nope. Reuters, let's see what they say. Have seen alien while heading to the moon. Now, I know they had some strange stuff happen where they said they saw flashes of light in the eye, which was caused by radiation, obviously. And as you know, radiation can emit photons as part of physics. I'm not going to get into that though, but there was also the case where the astronauts claimed that there was some knocking on the outside of the spaceship. Remember that one? Which I thought was quite interesting. That they thought there was like a ghost or something that was knocking on the door. Not particularly alien though, because they couldn't see anything out the windows. I might better find that article too. So, what did they say here? Simple answer. Yeah, they're pretty long. No simple answer. No simple answer. You know, they could start off with this is claimed true, false, or true, but this is what he meant. Okay, so this is again, this is the same thing with BUZZ, what he actually meant. According to a post, Aldrin told NASA and later took a lie detector test which he passed. This claim is partly false. Okay. Is the astronaut did describe seeing an unidentified moving object moving off the Apollo 11 spacecraft, but the sighting was explained soon after soon after. Where did it finish up there? Oh, I suppose that is in Descendants. So I thought it'd be good to find his actual comments rather than taking it from newspapers, because they're also bad with lies and deception and taking things out of context, same as YouTube channels. And so we can search here for UFO. I think, have I got it queued up or not? Probably not, because I've started scrolling. Let me just find the place. It's quite a long page. I'll post up the links so you can all have a look at it. You may not be aware that it existed even. So type UFO in, see if it anywhere mentions UFO. And there we go. So is that the one that he's talking about? Let's see. That looks like it might be the one. And explain exactly what had observed. Okay, this we well understood exactly what was, and when was returned, we debriefed and explained. So it sounds like BUZZ Aldrin speaking. Exactly what was we had observed. Okay, so they get debriefed after, just in case they do see aliens, I guess. And I felt that this had been just distributed to the outside world. The outside world audience, and apparently it wasn't. And so many years later, I had the time and I interviewed to disclose these observations on another country's television network, and the UFO people in the United States were very, very angry with me that I had not given them the information. It was not an alien. Extraordinary observations require extraordinary evidence. That's what Carl Sagan said. There may be aliens in the Milky Way, so he's not denying that there could be life out there. And there are billions of other galaxies, so we're just one of billions. And the probability is almost certain that there is somewhere in space. So he's saying there's life out there. It was not that remarkable, that special, that unusual, that life here on Earth evolved gradually, slowly to where we are today. Okay, so there must be more to that answer. That must be the first part, is it? Is there any truth to reports such as this, which claim that yourself and Mr. Armstrong had a UFO encounter upon landing on the moon? Okay, that sounds like it might be this one. According to... who's that? Hitto. Is that one of the other astronauts, is it? Hitto. Unconfirmed reports. Both Neil Armstrong and Edwin BUZZ Aldrin saw UFOs shortly after their historic landing on the moon, Apollo 11, on 21st July 1969. Ooh, I was pretty young then. I remember hearing one of the astronauts refer to a light in or on a crater during the television transmission, followed by a request for mission control for further information. Nothing more was heard. Okay, so that's going to start a conspiracy. According to a former NASA employee, Otto Binder, unnamed radio ham with their own, I remember seeing this on various conspiracy sites, with their own VHF receiving facilities that bypass NASA's broadcast. Wasn't it in Australia? Outlets picked up the following exchange. NASA, what's there? Mission control calling Apollo 11. Apollo, these babies are huge. Yeah, I remember seeing this on various sites. It's good to see what he's going to say to it though. Sir, enormous. Oh my god. You wouldn't believe it. Telling you there are other spacecraft out there lined up on the far side of the crater. They're on the moon watching us. So that's according to this ham radio guy though, isn't it? Maurice Shelton in 1979. Maurice, former chief of NASA Communications. I have to zoom in and out because my eyes are a wee bit blurry. Systems confirmed that Armstrong had indeed reported seeing 2 UFOs on the rim of crater. The encounter was common knowledge in NASA, he revealed, but nobody has talked about it until now. Okay, so Soviet scientists were allegedly the first to confirm the incident. According to our information, the encounter was reported immediately after landing of the module, said Dr. Vladimir, a physicist. So the Russians knew about it. A professor of mathematics at Moscow, Bill Armstrong relayed the message to Mission Control that two large, mysterious objects were watching them after having landed near the moon module. But his message was never heard. Okay, so is he going to answer that one? Hey Buzz, just wanted to let you know you have been sitting on my desk for 15 years. Not sure what he's on about. Did you ever see any UFOs or any objects that could have been UFOs? So it's going to be bad if he doesn't answer that rim one for us. How did it feel? So there could be some truth that UFOs were watching them. Remember that? It's one thing I never ever discounted. That maybe they were being watched, but not interfered with. Because maybe they keep an eye on humans because they had nuclear weapons back then, right? And they're a bit worried that they're probably going to blow up the moon or something stupid, which was actually proposed to use it for mining, blowing up underground to make it easy to mine. Glad they didn't do that though. Hey Coachy Man, sorry, I was just sort of deep into this, trying to read this damn thing. And I got limited time here really, because I started late. I'm DMing you something now, take a look. Okay. No worries. If I remember I'll get back to it. It says on Discord, alright. So yeah, at the moment we're trying to break down the disinformation that's being pushed out by frauds, when there might actually be some actual truthful bits that need to be focused on, which we haven't got answers on. So what did we get down to here? So he hasn't come back and answered those questions yet. A lot of people posting lots of questions. Let's see. We've got 2 of 9 of UFOs, so it's obviously a popular subject. Your UFO sighting you had during Apollo. Thank you. Still not come back yet. Okay, we'll just keep going. Okay, he's finally come back, I think. There we go. So it might be in here. So I'll just zoom in. Well, we understood exactly what it was, and when we returned, this sounds like the other answer. I had some time in an interview to disclose. Isn't that the same thing? Very angry at me. Carl Sagan. I think we read that one out before. Have we gone around in circles? I think we have. I've gone one too far. No. UFOs. That's strange. It was on this page. I'm sure it was because I read it out before. because he debunks his own sighting. How could I have missed it? Yeah, that one we didn't get an answer to, I don't think. And of course, if they had UFOs on the moon, that might be the reason why they didn't go back, right? They may have been asked not to come back. I'll just try to find this. I did read it, and I don't think I've changed the page about the UFOs. Was it? Let's read out that one. Let's look at the creator. Let's that one again. Where's the other one? Angry. That's that one again. I'm pretty sure what it said was when it was debunked straight after, it was actually the sun reflecting off a panel on the spaceship that he saw through the window, thinking it was a light UFO following them. That's what he said. But maybe that was a cover story, right? So there could be some truth in it. Quite interesting though. So maybe he does know that aliens and UFOs exist, but he can't under NDA. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Pretty sure he talks about it in a big blurb. But why I can't see it now? Let's try UFO sun. Can you do multiples? Let's try sun panel. Alright. There's 9 references to sun, okay. It could be here. It's got sunsets. Oh, here we go. Reflected off one of the panels. Okay, let's read that part out. He actually debunks. It is him replying this time. On Apollo 11, en route to the moon, I observed a light out the window. Here you go. That appeared to be moving alongside us. There were many explanations of what could be, other than another spaceship from another country or another world. It was either the rockets we had separated from, or the 4 panels that moved away when we extracted the, what does it say there, lander from the rocket, and we were nose to nose with the 2 spacecraft. So in the close vicinity, moving away were 4 panels, and I feel absolutely convinced that we were looking at the sun reflected off one of those panels. Which one I don't know. So technically, the definition could be unidentified. Oh, so there you go. It's quite interesting. So he's saying it was still an unidentified light, but had some explanations for it. So he isn't sort of discounting it not being alien, though. Let's see, does it carry on here? We have understood exactly what it was, and when we return in and debriefed and explained exactly what we had observed. Alright, so this is where we come in with Carl Sagan, but so it was the right paragraph. I just had scrolled down just a wee bit too far. So I'll post that link there, and people can read that whole post there for themselves. BUZZ Q&A Reddit. Reddit's always a good source, really. QA Reddit. There you go. So, what did we get out of that? You never answered that one about the crater rim. Was that made up? Maybe he had an NDA about that one. Okay. I don't know if we can search anymore on that one. Okay. Does that one talk about the crater rims? Let's have a look. Of course, a lot of these guys are very religious too. It sort of breaks their world view, I suppose, until the Catholic Church later changed. Later on, was it in the 70s? That they included that ET could be made by God as well. So people could accept it, right? But it's always interesting to see what these guys think as well. All I am is just following what actually was said versus what people claiming was said, and what hasn't been answered. What hasn't been answered is the most suspicious one, the two crater one. Two lights on crater. Yeah, my eyes are really bad today. I should be improving because I'm doing eye drops. Great BUZZ reply. Was there any replies to it? I had it right then, did I? Okay, reply. How to argue with a moonland denier. He's a bit younger there too, isn't he? He looks old, but he's still younger. What would he be, like 50s? 60s maybe? Instead of 90? We haven't got time to go through all those, and of course we'll probably get copyright claim on everything, probably. Even though it's fair use. Yeah, probably have to put UFOs in it. Two lights. Was it two lights or two craft? And they said the babies are big. So it's strange that hasn't been an answer. Didn't see a UFO on the way to the moon, but did he see on the rim of the moon. Confirms UFO sighting. Again, it's about the light. How about the rim? But I have to look more into that one, because that's got me more interested to see if there's anything out there. Especially if he's on film talking about it. It doesn't look like there's anything there, but maybe there's something out there. I ain't got time to go over all that. So yeah, this is a link here debunking what was said in the interview. You know, it's nothing worse than someone making up lies, just to try and get clickbait. I want to know, did he actually respond to that comment? That'd be a lot more interesting if he did, and what he said. So on to the last part of Nocturnal News, and then we'll wrap up.
He goes on to this word salad that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Is this man drunk?
You see the gas.
These two clowns right here.
Clouds of
Yeah,
the
you see
galaxy.
the Magellanic Cloud. You can see the zodiacal light. The
Zodiacal light.
The zodiacal light.
Whoa.
Of course, was black.
There are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them.
It's unfathomable.
Okay, this is the next lie.
Now, let me pause. What you're looking at here. Okay, these are different men and women that have been in space, going all the way back to the Apollo program, to the ISS. Now, I know a lot of debunkers out there like to say, well, because of the camera equipment back then in the late 60s, early 70s, I think we went in 1969. I think the last one was, December 72, I believe, something like that. But they try to say, okay, the reason you don't see stars in the background on the moon or even the ISS is because of the cameras. Well, the ISS is equipped with multi-million-dollar cameras. My iPhone right here can film the stars, so I don't quite understand what they're.
Okay, so this is explained, and if he did the research like he claims to do, this guy, it's quite easy to understand why you don't always see the stars on International Space Camera. And that's because the speed that the space station moves and the day and night that occurs every 45 minutes, because they're going around the Earth in an hour and a half, so you get day and night. And sometimes it's 45 minutes in the dark and 45 minutes in the blinding sun. You've seen the so-called UFOs with the lens reflections and flares that appear on camera. Everybody keeps saying they're UFOs when they're clearly not, because they take it out of context and they crop it too. And some even muck around with it in editing to make it even more look like a UFO. Scott C. Warren is one of those type of people. Now, when they're in the dark, you can see clear as day the city lights, and you can actually see some stars. And if they aim the camera away from the Earth on the other side of the cupola, as it's called, and a little capsule underneath, it's got bulletproof glass for micrometer lights, and it's like 4 panels thick as well. You get the nice clear picture of the Milky Way. So we can actually see some of these images online. Why he hasn't put them up, I don't know. Because he's making a false narrative against NASA here. And of course they've taken various interview clips out of contents. Of course some space astronauts travelled in the dark, only the darkness, and never were in the sunlight, so to them it was like pure darkness and in space. But there was no mention about stars in that sentence, right? The stars are not going to light up the space, so you're going to see lots of stars in the darkness. So we'll just keep playing his little clips
They're
here.
saying they're, talking about how the debunkers, I mean, they say because of the cameras you don't see stars. Okay, that's fine. Now, let's look at witness test.
Okay, it also depends on the settings on the camera too. On the moon, they purposely had it set for short exposure because it was very bright light reflecting off the lunar soil, or what do you want to call it, dust, which is like talcum powder, and very like almost like asbestos, I guess, crystallized, and probably would be dangerous to breathe it in, probably. Just keep on going.
Testimony. This is what gets me every time. Okay, throw out the cameras. Throw the camera argument out the window. You have one astronaut saying...
Okay, so can you see the lines that these guys are meant to be hanging from? Yeah, good one, guys. Yeah, fake space, no. Now, to hang up someone here, you'd have to have at least 3 lines behind his back. Going upwards here. Probably connected to his belt pack going around here. Would you need more than 3 lines to try and keep him steady? I don't think so. I think 3 would be the minimum. But yeah, you'd see him. Especially when they move around, they'd get all tangled up too. And they're saying this was done in an airplane or hairspray, right? Which is kind of nonsense. There's lots of images online that debunks all those crazy people that's claiming nonsense.
And yeah, you can see stars on the ISS. Another one saying, no, it's the ultimate of blackness. Okay, so they all contradict one another, and none of it makes any damn sense whatsoever. Let's continue.
See stars if we're... I don't remember seeing any.
Pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
Never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side.
Of course, was black.
There are billions.
Okay, so on the lunar surface they couldn't see it because it was brighter because of the soil reflecting the light. Because to see the stars, you need like us. You don't see the stars during the day, do you? Unless you're using special cameras and filters and stuff. But even then, it's really hard to get it. As soon as nighttime comes, you can see the stars, right? And if you get away from ambient light, city lights, then you can see just an amazing amount of stars. So if you go out in the countryside, away from all the light pollution, it's just a wow moment. And first time I saw that was in Australia. When I went up to Noosa Beach there, it's like an exclusive little private beach that you can rent a cabin for a couple of weeks holiday, and the star is just absolutely full. I mean, the sky is absolutely full, and you can see the Milky Way rim, and it's just so bright with stars. It's just amazing. You don't need no telescope or camera to see it. Back then, though, I never even thought about taking a picture of it with my new digital camera, because it was a piece of crap, really. It was 3 megapixels and it was 4:3 format, and I don't think it had any really many controls over nighttime footage. But anyway, cameras just got better and better from there onwards anyway. $1,500 I paid for that too. New Zealand. That's probably 800 US. That was a lot of money.
Billions of stars, and you can see them.
It's an unfathomable blackness.
Unfathomable blackness.
The sky is a deep black.
It's the darkest black you can imagine.
Because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
pretty
much all the time you can.
Of course, was black.
There are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them.
It's amazing what you can do when you take little sentences, clips, and take it out of contents to paint a new narrative.
There are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them.
I mean, which one is it?
unfathomable blackness.
Well, if you do some research, mate, you can find out.
Looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
Around in this rough terrain. We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon.
Okay, so you said daylight side of the moon there too. Like I said, light pollution. It's the same as Earth, right? You're not going to see the stars because of light pollution. So this guy is this terrible bad dude for doing this. He's probably going to influence a few people down in this chat here too. So what's the answer? So I did a quick search, and instead of redoing it, I got some bookmarks here. Can astronauts see stars from space? I thought this was actually quite a good one. And there you go. You can actually see some stars on an International Space Station camera. But you can see they're in the dark side of the Earth at the moment. And that's the only reason that you can see them. So I've been asked the question, can astronauts on space stations see stars? Astronaut Jack Fisher provides an unequivocal answer of yes, with a recent post on Twitter of a time-lapsed he took from International Space Station, captured the arc of all the glory, saying it paints the heavens in a thick coat of awesome sauce. So I guess that might be the picture above there, is it? Is that the one? Stars and the limb of Earth. Background, International Space Station. And that's 2017. And you can see city lights here, which is another Klingon spacecraft reported in some of the other footage, which does happen to have a shape of a Klingon sci-fi spaceship where they're over Earth at that time. You got to remember the space station is going faster than Earth's spinning, so that means it's going to overtake cities, so it's going to always go from right to left, which you will see those old videos do that. You never see the UFO going from left to right. It's always city lights, right? All the boat lights. Fishing boat lights is the other one. They're very bright, of course. So it's a common misconception that the Apollo astronauts didn't see any stars. While stars don't show up in the pictures for Apollo missions, it's because the camera exposures were set to allow for good image of a bright sunlit lunar surface, so in daytime. So they had the cameras on their chests, remember? They didn't muck around with the cameras. They're like great big huge boxes that they had glass slides on for with photosensitive material, right? Because they knew it was more likely to be better for capturing images than other methods. It's a bit like they use core memory in some of the rockets too. I think they might even use some in Space Shuttle. Core memory that wasn't sort of solid state, where it was not prone to radiation entering it, like silicon chips are. Apparently, when we have glitches on computers, it could be because solar gamma radiation particle passed through your laptop or computer at the time. You know how you get some strange things that happen? You know, I've had it on live streams happened, where the screens go blank, and we say it's Men in Black, but it could be just a gamma particle going straight through and corrupting memory, and it might be as simple as that. So yeah, interesting stuff. That's my computer scientist side of me kicking in there. Probably could Google that up again, but I think I might have covered it on past live streams. That our computers are not hardened against a solar burst, right? And how you could get make it so you could actually protect your equipment. Yeah, so yeah, it could all go wrong. You know, there could be a big solar blast that could happen at some stage and wipe out a lot of our electronics and satellites. That's why they monitor it at the moment. That's why they're always studying the sun, trying to predict things at a time and shut down satellites before it hits them. So if they're powered down, they're less likely to cook, because it creates high voltages inside. So here's one from NASA. What they did, they sort of got a hover where it sort of makes it brighter. Got a red. But you can see there's no stars, right? So that's because it's in daytime. But this does seem to be something up here in the darkness. Yeah, look. Which could be just some of that dust from the moon when they're jumping around. Could just be floating up in space air and it's gradually coming back down with gravity again. So, you know, you got to count for everything when you take photographs. So here it says the 45-minute thing. Cool thing about being an International Space Station, astronauts experience nighttime 16 times a day in 45-minute intervals. So even if they're sleeping in a day, they're still going to experience night and day, where they can aim their cameras out the window. Twinkle Twinkle little star. I don't know what that's got to do with it. For stars to show up. Now look at this one. There you go. They're aiming the camera the other way. In the dark, aim it the other way, just like you would do on Earth. Probably set maybe the camera upright with the right exposure. And bang-o. And now you can see not this much detail from like the Noosa Beach I was talking about in Queensland. But you can see the stars were like this in this picture. The white bits here. It's just amazing. And there's a picture of the Earth. So that might be that one he was talking about where he set it up with long exposure, where you could see the source. You know, the edge of Earth here. That might be the one he was talking about above. Okay. Ocean, moon, glint, and city lights. So there's another good image. Does that look like CGI to you? I suppose anything could be CGI nowadays. I suppose. Oh, look, you can see some stars, look, coming up on the edge. See that there? Good example. Why don't we see any stars? What you do? Now it's coming into daytime. The stars are gone. There you go. Hopefully I don't get done for copyright on that one. A lot of these people don't accept fair use. It's really frustrating. Okay, so I did some more searches and found some other better links to images on the next one. Stars from Lunar and ISS. Hopefully it's cleared it up, this one. It's like becoming a repeating record, having to keep recapping the stuff. Because people are still promoting the garbage out there. Can you see stars in space? And this one was quite a good one too. And we'll just go down pictures. Okay, so there's another moon one during the day. No stars. But if you run it through filters like I have shown you, sometimes you can see the odd star still. You know, a lot of people did that, like Hogland, and claimed it was like glass stones and they're reflecting off them. They purposely made it to get rid of the stars so you wouldn't see the glass domes, which is pure nonsense, obviously. And he was meant to be a credible source working for NASA at some stage. Yeah, so they've given you an example of the same scene, taken from roughly the same location, I guess. One with the camera settings not quite right, short exposure, and it's really hard to see any stars, if any, without running it through some filters maybe. And this is with long exposure, and I guess the stars might get actually stretched a wee bit. They're not quite round, are they? They're sort of going upwards. So that's the problem with long exposure while you're moving in space. And you might remember the STS-48 video I analysed. If you have a look at that, you can actually see stars in that one too. And M1, I think, was mentioned. And you can see that when we did the path analysis, as the space shuttle was moving, and when it fired the thrusters, you can see it start to stretch into stretches, little stretches on the stars, because they're far away, you see, unlike the other objects in the video, and they just make little streaks, where the other ones were making big lines, right? You have to go back and watch my analysis on that one. Milky Way. So yeah, so they had some good stuff there, but that says the same things. But yeah, do I need to really cover more on that? I don't think so. I think it's pretty clear cut. Let's do some more searches. Stars ISS, let's see what comes up. Because Nocturnal News obviously didn't. That's not space to right, stars. Stara. Looks like it's an old Russian, what do you call it? Shaped like a UFO, which is kind of strange. Observation post. I don't know what it is. Oh, here we go. So we've seen that one. International Space Station YouTube. That definitely looks like the space station there. You can see that it's in dark. See, there's no sunlit like we normally get with those reflected UFO ones, which are fakes as well. Yeah. So when he's saying you see lots of stars, he wasn't wrong. BUZZ Aldrin was in that interview with the kids. Was it with the kids? I think he's talked about stars. There's no one. Space shuttle. Might do some of those too, see what comes up. There's that one again. There's that one again. That one again. Here's some new ones. That one's pretty nice looking. Here's another new one. There's another new one with the moon, I think it is. Coming up. You can see part of the space station here in the foreground. And here's another one. Different angle. So there's lots of pictures with stars. And also one with no stars. But you can still see the city lights, which are obviously brighter than the stars. So that must be like halfway between darkness and light going on there. Looks like it's getting close to where the sun is up there. So it's a wee bit too bright to get the stars, but it's not too bright to get the city lights below. What's that one there? Yeah, you can definitely see stars in that one. And you can see it's starting to be illuminated there as well. You can see that the sun's just coming up around the edge, and we still see stars. Let's try stars STS missions. See if something comes up in that one. Have we got one there? It's a bit harder to see because they didn't always have the exposure set. I think there could be some stars here coming up to the space station. That one had to be run through filters. There's one with a robot arm, but I can't see any stars. Here we go. So, who took that picture? We can see some stars there with the space shuttle. Is that the space shuttle? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's probably a camera aboard. Oh, right, you can see it's on long exposure. See that there? With the lights being stretched. So that means that the space shuttle must be pretty stationary in orbit next to the space station here. And it's done in long exposure, so now you can see the stars behind. So it is to do with the camera and the amount of light pollution. That's all. No mystery. Mystery solved. That looks like a render in that one. I don't think there'd be too many space shuttle ones where you see it. Maybe the video. There's the astronauts. Obviously set for brightness, and you're not going to see the background. Anyway, if you still don't believe it, there's not much we can do, I guess. I'll post that one too, and we'll have a look at Countryman's link and sort of wrap up, I guess. And it's coming up to dinner time. So yeah, I had to make a comment on this one because it really made me angry when I watched it.
Okay, you heard him. He said the stars are brighter than you know, up there. You can see the whole Earth, stars all around. And then in later testimony, he.
Of course, remember the human eyes are better than any camera. We have amazing eyes, though. We can actually see very dim things in darkness, and our eyes just take care of it. Our eyes are equivalent to 537 megapixel camera, according to some experts. And we got what do you call it? What's it called? Wide lens as well, and we can narrow in, zoom in. Our eyes are pretty amazing.
He goes on to say it's the ultimate blackness. Okay, so again, forget about the camera argument that a lot of people try to make, that it was just low-tech cameras. Even on the ISS, this multi-billion-dollar hunk of metal floating up there. We're talking about witness testimony. They contradict each other left and right. NASA, NASA, never a straight answer, NASA.
That's where Sesame Street is, right?
The sky is deep black.
Oh.
When viewed from the moon, as it is when viewed from cislunar space, the space between the Earth and the moon.
The sky, of course, was black.
Yeah.
But it had sort of a velvet sheen to it.
The biggest visual surprise was just how black the sky is. You have a brilliant sun.
It's got low volume on it.
You normally would see even here in New Mexico. You have these extraordinarily high mountains. We were in a valley deeper than the Grand Canyon.
On the moon, yeah.
And then you had this black sky, a sky blacker than black, as the old Midicon expression used to be.
But the other guy said,
you notice he hasn't mentioned whether it's daytime or nighttime on the moon or whatever. So yeah, hopefully I filled all that in for everybody.
The cool thing is about you can see it during the day.
I don't remember seeing
So you notice he did during the day and then it got cut off there.
Neil, you were
watch the little elbow right here. Yeah, he's like, hey, buddy.
Elbow. That's not his elbow. That's just a crease in his suit.
Okay, and we are back. I had a little technical difficulties. Look, guys, I'm using this new form.
Blah, blah, blah.
Neil, you were
You guys, so, you know, you can decide and you can tell me what you think. Okay, right here, look at this. He grabs a hold of what seems to be a cable right there on the left side of his hip. I mean, what is going on here? Right?
I've debunked this one. It turns out they got a multi-tool thing on the belt there that he was reaching for. He was trying to grab hold of his belt to stop him rotating because it's really hard because you ain't got no counteracting force to stop rotating. So he was trying to help him stabilize himself, and what they saw on his belt wasn't actually where the string gets attached. It's actually a multi-tool, which I found in other photographs of him wearing it.
Okay, this wasn't very convincing to me. You see these little things kind of...
I suppose the multi-tool would be like a knife, spoon, that sort of stuff, right?
Poking up right there where we circle.
Okay, that's another one that Tyler also put out too, which is actually garbage. You know, clothes are always going to lift up, and it's possible they're going to form creases as well. But that turned out again to be the multi-tool. As he bent round, the multi-tool raised up and caused this lift up in the shirt here. That's all. Quite easy, really, to explain it. And likewise, he's got example of someone hanging, not just vertically, but also laying down. You can see how many wires are on that, right? There's no way you're going to hide wires. You've got wires all over the place, and you can see how blurry it is as well. You know, none of the NASA footage is that blurry. Just even that's pretty bad, low res that someone's created here. But yeah, if you look at the high res of this one online, you can see the wires all over the place to be able to support that massive weight. There's no way that all those people are going to be in this little tight capsule with all these wires everywhere. It's just absolutely nonsense.
Put it right here, you know, insinuating this cable. Now right here, look at this. This guy comes floating.
Okay, there's the multi-tool, guys. That's what I'm telling you. He's got it on the belt and it's just dangling upwards.
Or something.
There you go, it's a multi-tool. Oh, what's happened? You dirtbag. What's going on here? I've been sabotaged. Okay.
And he has some kind of cable on him. Now this dude here, watch. Oh, what happened? Now if you're in zero gravity, right, you shouldn't be falling in the ISS. Just another example right here of something poking out of her shirt right there. Now this one was pretty good.
That's because he's got something in his pocket. And that one there, I haven't seen the other one there. I haven't had a good look at that one where he was doing a handstand or something. I think he probably was going too far over and panicked. But yeah, it's just crap.
Okay, this wasn't very convincing to me. You see these little things kind of poking up right there where we circled it right here, you know, insinuating this cable.
Multi-tool, there we go.
Am I right here? Look at this.
And you wouldn't even be able to balance there if that was just a single cable off the belt there.
This guy comes floating through like Casper the Friendly Ghost or something, okay? And he has some kind of cable on him. Now, this dude here, watch.
So this guy's turning into Dubai guy, you know, Eric Dubai, which lives in Thailand or somewhere hiding out, right? Yeah, this guy here, I'm not sure. Let's see, ESA. Certainly got a lot of cables hanging around. But they're not attached to him. Looks like it's attached to all these lighting and camera gear they got there. Okay, he's trying to do a rotation by the looks of it. And then he panics and slams his feet down.
What happened? Now, if you're in zero...
Okay, it's misleading there. I think what he does is he bends his legs in, doesn't he? He doesn't actually speed up or anything. It's just misleading.
Floating through like Casper the Friendly Ghost or something, okay? And he has some kind of cable on him. Now, this dude here, watch. Oh! What happened?
No, he
now,
goes
if
to
you're in
these...
zero...
So as he was coming around, looks like he pulled his legs in, gradually put his feet down so he could slow himself spinning. Yeah, it's just misleading.
Gravity, right? You shouldn't be falling.
This one here, again, it's got something in his belt.
In the ISS.
Pocket, probably. There you go. Is
just
that
another
one?
example right here of something
Whereabouts?
poking out of her shirt right there.
Other shit. Multi-tool, was it?
In the ISS.
Whereabouts is he talking about? I don't see anything suspicious.
Another.
Something meant to be poking out. I don't see anything poking out. Looks like a dark shadow from his shirt.
Example.
Oh, is he talking about over here?
Example right here of something poking out of her shirt right there. Now this one was pretty good. Look, dude's head freaking disappears in the top of the ISS. Okay, implying or giving proof, maybe evidence, at least at a bare minimum, evidence that this is in fact computer generated or green screen.
Okay, that's rolling shutter. That's a camera artifact. You get it on video too. Remember I was talking about that maybe a month ago? How compression works. Video compression works. Where you can lose the master frame and encodes all the other bits of movement to overlay on top of it. So what's happened there is some computer frame has, which they call the iframe, I think it is, has been lost.
Should I say probably both? CGI.
You know, even his cousin Tyler did the same claim, right? And you could tell it was corruption of the video. You probably see it even on your digital TV sometimes like that.
And green screen.
Especially if you get via satellite and you get a solar flare or something.
I mean, look at that.
And it looks to me that's formed in portrait. And rolling shutter happens from top to bottom. You know how it sort of copies a chunk of, processes a chunk of photo cells, and then does another chunk, a bit like a flat feed scanner. And yeah, it's just messed up.
And I don't know if you guys out there are familiar with green screens, but this is what happens when there's a glitch in the matrix. Now right here, in the background, you see the green screen back there in the background, right here. Okay, and then we'll do a side-by-side, and look at this. Same shirt, same guy, but NASA added in this background with a green screen. I don't know. Like I said, I just want to share this with you guys.
Yeah, so there may have been... Oh, looks like they're doing some house moderation, so it looks like I might have to go. Yeah, so he's saying that one is actually processed, which means it's more likely to have a glitch in their processing of the green screen. So yeah, that was just a video artifact. Okay, so let's better look at last thing here. Countryman. What do we got here? He's talking about flight radar. Nothing to do with this topic by the looks of it. I'm not sure why he's given it to me for this show, but we've covered this before, haven't we? Alright, let's put up a picture. What's that, a Learjet? Or what is it? Super King. Kind of looks like a Learjet with more passengers. So yeah, what's this about, Countryman? You give no explanation. Now, there was talk about on third phase about a plane, strange looking plane. They said it was a UFO passed overhead. I suspect it'd be something similar to this. Yeah, I've yet to go and debunk that though. Go through all that with you guys. But I'll do that, if not tomorrow, certainly it will be in the weekend. And I'll go through what their claims are. But if a plane's coming straight at you, it's going to look like it's hovering, especially if it's coming from 100 k's away, right? And it's going to keep coming towards you. You're not going to see the blinking lights. You're not going to see the red and green lights from that distance. And it'll get closer and closer to you. Eventually it'll pass over, because these planes move pretty damn fast, I mean. And we've filmed that with my New Zealand sky watching series, right? You can see it's very hard to zoom in and keep it in focus, and also tracking it. So yeah, Countryman, what's this about? Are you still there? Anyone there? You there? Countryman, or are you gonna sleep? It must be late, is it now? Try to type his name in. I think that'll do. Not sure. Do you know what he might be on about? Anyone watching? Super King, New York, Washington. I wonder if that's the one related to third phase. What date was it? Have we got a date on there? Can't see a date. But anyway, better wrap up. I think they're taking a big heat storage off the wall. Looks like it weighs a ton. So I know we tried to put it back on the wall after the quake, and we made sure it never come off again. So having to remove it to put down some new carpet. That's what they're going to do here. Would have been a tricky job. Anyway, Nocturnal News, bad boy. Oh right, I was actually meant to have a quick skim of the comments to see if anyone picked that up since I've looked at it before I wrap up. History. Where was it? Oh, actually, I'll go through the hard way to get to his site. Yeah. I was actually going to look at his other video too. This one here. Let's read the comments first. Yeah, let's just have a quick read of the comments. Working on a new format. Busted my bubble and exposing the lies. Well, he didn't expose the lies that he's producing. Good stuff. Number one, we're not allowed to see other countries' satellites. I'm just wrapping up now. I'll let you know later. Anything. Just go. Being asked what I want for dinner. I don't care because I'm not really hungry. Number one, we're not allowed to see other countries' satellites technology. Number two, they don't want to disclose alien visitors. Well, they don't want to disclose all their spy satellites. NOC, another great video. See, all these guys are sucking it up. They don't do fact checking themselves. There is silent free fall in ISS inside the Earth's orbit. So he's saying there's a wee bit of influence from the Earth there. That might be true. We didn't look it up. Something is up. Now we need answers. So that one's believing it. Excellent video, which is bullshit. The privilege falls got me. When you lie, you just keep trying to maintain the lie. So he believes the video. It's never ceases to amaze me with all the billions they have to trick the people and still fluff up. Well, they didn't. None of them fluffed up. I mean, it might be, what's that one, falling the screw, okay? If it was flicked down, that's probably could be true. He might have flicked it with his fingernail, right? This guy's onto it. If it was flicked down, this would happen in Series G. That's right. Up or out at the same speed. What would you think? Okay, so that one's got it. Nocturnal News. What about cable holder behind back? So these guys are flat earthers for sure. They could have pointed them out. And I'm not going to read out all those. Let's see. We're not alone. I think you're making too much of BUZZ comment. I heard it is effectively, we didn't go back because we didn't. Exactly. That's what he meant to say. But he did it in a bad way. Then he says he thinks he knows why. Exactly, guy. This guy's got it. Brian Lees. And look, no tick upwards, no reply to that one, even though he's the correct one there so far. Makes you wonder. Hi from Scotland, hope you're all safe. Yes, very drunk. He thinks he's drunk, I don't know. 90 years old, that's probably normal, thinking of what to say. I have enough trouble on the live show doing unscripted. Maybe the screw didn't fall but was ejected. Oh, we got someone else here that's even questioning the video by some sort of finger. But I agree there are lots of contradictions. No, I haven't seen any contradictions. The stars can be seen on the night side, there you go, of the moon. Not on the daytime. Exactly. This guy knows his stuff. Not according to them. Well, actually it is. If you have a listen to all those clips, that's exactly what they said. On the lunar surface, or between space. If you're going back and listen to it again, even the clips tell you it's night time. even though he tried to cut off some of it. The old interview or the new one? So I got a feeling some comments have disappeared, surely. Why is no one saying it's not taken out of context? Maybe a couple did, but they didn't actually say that. Alright, what's this guy saying? If you watch the entire recordings of the interviews and not just the short clips presented here, they mentioned not being able to see the star on the daytime side of being correct. And while orbiting Earth in the IS daytime side, yep. But nighttime side, it's a different story. Could have sworn there was more comments here the other day. Google censoring to keep the narrative so they can keep these fraud channels going. Let's have a quick look at that last one. Here he's talking about ice particles are going 290 degrees. Now, I've tried to explain that you can get that happen with radiation hitting ice particles and can slow down and all sorts, right? And this one here was well and truly debunked, not just by me, but many debunkers, and also by the cops actually putting out a statement saying it was a advertising balloon. So that one's well and truly debunked.
It's checking it out. It's like, what's going on?
It's just saying it was going to be any harm to anyone.
The helicopter circling it.
Now this guy that's filming, he actually took other videos, and we only get to see the worst one. See, he's got one video where he's actually got a close-up, and you can actually see the logo on the advertising balloon, right?
Really.
Nocturnal News. So look, guys, I got a really cool video for you today. Now this video is from 4 years ago, and honestly, I'm surprised that I've never seen this video. Okay, I ran across it on YouTube. A friend of mine recommended it. The video had, I think, like 500,000 views. At first I thought, and you'll see it, we'll break it down today. At first I thought, okay, you know, probably, you know, maybe an advertising balloon mistaken for a UAP, UFO. Number one. Number two, could be a weather balloon going up or coming down, right? But the more that I analyzed the video, the more that I was convinced that it was a real UAP, UFO. Okay.
No, bollocks. I've seen the video of that guy, and definitely has got the logo on it for the brand e-cigarettes, was it? He's just lying. He's trying to turn this into a conspiracy as well. So where's the proof, mate? So a UFO with a logo on the side.
Some type of advertising balloon, but I don't think so. I think this is a real, genuine UFO. Again, you know, why would the police, you know, arrive on the scene to investigate? Number one. Number two, you would think there'd be some type
to see if it's a hazard for people. Safety issue.
A police report, and I've looked in the man's city. I don't want to dox him and say where he lives, but I couldn't find any police report. I couldn't find any media article.
So he didn't look on UFO Interest, who debunked this ages ago. Mind you, it's 4 years old now. But I might have it in my video, but let's see if it's on UFO Interest. Although I'm running out of time here. Search. Advertising. Balloon. It was in a valley. Can't remember what the name of the valley was now though. UFO of interest. And he actually contacted the police, I think. And they gave a statement. Here we go. Is that the one? Ah, it is too. First one up. As suspected in my previous tweet, the alleged UFO over Los Angeles could be an advertising balloon. And now it's reposted that. Some locals loose think the object was an advertising balloon. Brass Knuckles is the brand, the name of the cannabis concentrate. There's an image that someone got. Photograph, better quality than video. What is that thing over Los Angeles? Advertising balloon. It's the same footage that he's got. Could be advertising balloon. So have we got the police? Here's another close up of it. Update. Confirms. Here we go. So I'm not too sure why Nocturnal News couldn't find the report. Broken loose from the area. Courtesy photograph. LASD. Aero Bureau confirming object was a brass knuckles. Advertising balloon. I suppose it's here, is it? There was an article with tweets and things. Where is it though? I remember seeing it 4 years ago. Does it have more? Yeah, no. We'll find the quote. But yeah, it's not a UFO. Just garbage. We'll keep looking. Let's see. He's bound to have the quote here somewhere. San Gabriel, that's it. Gabriel Valley. Here's the blurry video. UFO hoaxes. So maybe he's posted it on this one. Just open that one up. I can't find the quote. To leave it then, but if you want to search, you'll probably find it. I think he may have done a video on it. That's the balloon. Might be on the article there. Express, have they updated it? I hate to go into this channel though. Express is terrible. There was a tweet, but you can probably find it in my old videos anyway. No, I just don't like this. That's where the image is from. I just don't like this site. What can I see? Updates. Poison. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's here somewhere, but it's just a matter of finding the statement. LA County scanner. I'm pretty sure there was more to that one. I can't find it. Where it come from, the LAPD, I think. Oh well, time to give up. Time's running out, I gotta go and have dinner. But yeah, just be wary of this channel. I'm not sure what his goal was, but certainly disinformation, and he's getting lots of views and lots of likes, right? How many likes did he get on that advertising balloon one? Okay. 94. 800 views almost. That was one of the most interesting ones I've ever seen. Duh. Boring. What makes this particularly interesting is how it starts off looking like a silver sphere. That's only because of the light and camera. Even if the orb was CGI, why would a helicopter just fly around it? Because it's not CGI, dummy. The only thing I would have thought the military would have been informed, not the police. Correcto. There'd be a flyby of 3 jets probably if it was a real UFO. Did you ever try to directly contact? No, of course he didn't. If he did, they would have directed him to the statement. I sent him a message, but this video has over 1 million views. Did he read all the comments? Because someone would have said, I live helicopter to be one of LASD's. Alright, okay. They reported back to dispatch it was in fact a car advertising balloon. So someone there has corrected them. Just floated away. In the news, I thought I'd let you know that Tyler from Security Team just reported the largest 2 earthquakes ever recorded on planet Mars. So what? I debunked that one the other day. Also at the same time, a huge green aurora has explained how that would happen. If you had a couple of impacts that created earthquakes, and then it may have thrown up dust in the air and triggered the light show with solar winds, right? Some cool stuff here. What the heck? That's awesome. Nice to see you, brother. The other underbelly fake channel. Yeah, they're all in each other's pockets, right? Just to promote each other. UAP, what the heck? Sort it out, UFO, please. He's saying use the word UFO, not UAP. Cool UFO video, man. Balloon. I think I've made my point clear today on that. Game over, man. It's time to go. I'll do a lot more, but yeah, not everyone's going to watch long videos, are they? So yeah, take care everybody on the roads, and I'll see you again soon with more bullshit to expose. It's about time we got some real decent stuff though. The cameras are getting really good now. I don't know if you've seen the Samsung, the latest phones, but they got optical zoom on them now, and 48 megapixels. That's got to capture some good UFO footage. No more spud cams soon, I hope. Anyway, it's time to stop yapping and move on. And thanks for those that joined me in the side chat. It's good to have someone. Not all. I know I am the most hated person in ufology. That seems so, anyway. I'm a buzzkill, but then again, you haven't seen my other videos which I said are real UFOs either, have you? You sort of biased watched, like everybody does. Go and check out my best videos and interviews I've done with real researchers. And Countryman said it was interesting, so that's good feedback. He's only a young guy in his 20s and shit. Don't think he's quite hit 30 yet. But I could be wrong. Age can be misleading. Some people reckon I'm a lot younger than I look.